Hi guys, this is Eric, the Candy Man from Studz Racing. Today we're going to show you how to mount the MB200 motorcycle style gas tank on the MB200 and also on the Baja Warrior. We're going to be using our MB200 bracket, and then also we've got our newly added Baja Warrior bracket. After you sand it, guys, this is where our preference was. It works perfectly if you get 3 inches from the top of the bottom frame to the bottom of our spacer here. 3 inches works perfect, sets the tank nice and level and off of the frame so it's not riding. So that's a good, that's definitely a good place to weld it. That's where we got it set, so 3 inches, guys. Once you guys have your height set at 3 inches, you're gonna wanna make sure that, that this piece is actually 90 degrees from the top of the frame. So it has to be straight. It can't be cocked one way or another. So I mean, you want to look directly down on it and make sure it's 90 degrees to the top. That way your tank sits nice and straight and it's even on both sides. Just like that. All right, guys, right now we're just going to tack that in so we can make sure it's placed properly. I'm sure most people will have a MIG, but we decided to take this. Nice and easy. Just a quick tack on the bottom and a quick tack on the top. Next, guys, we're going to slide the O-rings on. That's all you need is a rubber barrier that's going to go between our spacer kit and the tank itself. So the steel spacer is cut to where it rides all the way from side to side on the tank. If we look at our tank here, the steel spacer is made to cut perfectly all the way from side to side, so you don't get any movement. The rubber barriers go in between here so you don't have any vibration, and that's the problem. These guys mount these wrong. You have vibration, and then therefore it cracks the tank or the tank splits. So the rubber barriers work great, and once the rubber's in there, the tank's not going anywhere, it's solid. Now that we got the rubber bushings on there, guys, just on the inside of that, now we're going to take our tank. I already showed you the slots right here. So now we're going to take this tank, and we're just going to try it out. It's going to drop right in. It's going to be tight because the O-rings are on there. I'm just going to push that right on and make sure it's up all the way forward. And this lines up where we want. So once that's all the way popped forward, it can't go anywhere. So we're actually going to drill and tap this later, but if you come around to the front here, you'll be able to see how that spacer and O-rings are mounted right in the front there. It's perfect. Also, too, guys, notice, and that's the big mistake, when people are putting these on here, the tank is riding on the frame, and you get all the vibration and the bouncing, and that's what destroys these tanks. So with our piece mounted on there, you can see the cushion here. Now there's definitely a couple inches between that and the frame, the top of the frame. Now that we've got it where we want it, we're going to finish welding around the top and bottom. All right, guys. Now that our support is welded on, we've got the O-rings on there, and we're gonna slide the tank on. We're just gonna come down like this. We're going to push it all the way on. You can hear the rubber engage. Then we're going to drop the tank down here. It's perfectly centered, right where we want it. It can't move at all on the front, which is awesome. It's above the frame, so there's no rubbing. And now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drop a screw in the back. So basically we're just gonna drill a small hole here, and then we're gonna run a self-tapping screw, or we can tap it and just run a small machine screw. We've got a small piece of rubber that we're gonna run underneath here just for vibration, and then we're just gonna secure that. And then obviously the seat's gonna come mount on here and butt right up against the tank. Pretty. All right, guys, you can see we've got our small pilot hole drilled in here just to hold the rear of the tank. We've got just a small piece of rubber, which we're gonna use to stick underneath the tank, just to dampen any vibration. And then we're just gonna run the self-tapping screw with a built-in washer in it. And we're just gonna run that in. Perfect. That secures the tank from the front and the back, and we're good to go. Guys, thanks for tuning in to Studz Racing. Subscribe to us, and we appreciate your business. Thanks a lot.